Trubisky, total disaster. I knew it was a disaster. I didn't know how sad of a disaster it was until I saw these two tweets. The all-time leader in Bears career passer rating is Mitch Trubisky. Let that wash over you for a moment. The most yeah, it's true. He officially passed Jay Cutler, who was the all-time leader in Bears passer rating, with his performance this weekend. A performance that ended with him fumbling away the game. So you're gonna, the highest passer rating in the history of the Chicago Bears, who have been around 1 year longer than the NFL has been around, is this guy.
Wow.
I think that we have found the saddest stat in sports. And you're going to see it for 3.5 hours when Trubisky takes on Watson this weekend. My God, what a disaster. What a disaster.
Hey guys, we don't talk a lot of golf on this show, so you probably don't know that I'm a big fan of Gary Player. Not because he's a 3-time Master champ, not because he's a 2-time PGA champ who won the U.S. Open, he's in the Golf Hall of Fame, not because of any of that. Because at 85 years old, the guy's a stud, Brandon. He tweeted this yesterday, 85 years old.
Wow.
You know how I know how fast he's going on the treadmill? Look at that guy next to him. What? The guy walking casually next to him. And then Gary Player said this, never been frightened of failure, only of failing to give my best. Really? That's all you've been frightened about?
So he's just going to
At 85, I'm going to be terrified of misstepping and getting flung halfway across the gym like I did last week at age 35. You are the man, Gary Player. Keep it up. This is not even on loop. He's just running at this speed for hours and hours. Let us leave it there and head to New England, where we had 3 questions about Cam Newton. 3 questions when he signed with the Patriots. Would he mesh with Bill Belichick? That's a yes. Would he still be comfortable breaking out and running? That's a yes. Would his fashion still be on point? That's a yes. So what's the problem? Problem is, Patriots are 6-6. Wilds is all stressed out. Cam's got the fewest touchdown passes of any starting quarterback right now in the league. Think about that. Cam's passing game, non-existent, and he knows it. Take a listen.
The appreciation of how I play the game is not the sexiest thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be the first person to tell you that. Like, I'm always, people are always comparing quarterbacks to quarterbacks, which is the right thing to do, but the style of play is completely different. Obviously looking at my game and looking at Patrick Mahomes play, Tom Brady play, whoever is a gunslinger in this league that throws for a lot of yards, that's a way to win. I understand that. But the way that the teams have offered themselves for us to win has just been different.
Gunslinger Patrick Mahomes, gunslinger Cam Newton. Patrick Mahomes,
you hear
Cam
that?
Newton, different styles. Yes. Go ahead, Brandon. What do you make of what Cam had to say?
Well, look, you go back to his career in Carolina. It was sexy. Those are Cam Newton's words. He threw the ball. He won throwing the ball. He won running the ball. This year's just funky. Think about if you're a general manager, if you're an owner in this offseason and you got Cam Newton sitting there. How do you evaluate him? Is it well, it wasn't clicking because of COVID? Because before COVID, you look pretty sharp. Is it not clicking because of your health? Is there some health concerns there? Do you not have what you need as far as offensive line? We know you don't have a wide receiver and a tight end. So it's really tough position to be in if you're Cam Newton or another team or even the Patriots if you're thinking about what to do moving forward with Cam, because it's hard to evaluate him. You're a quarterback in the National Football League and you throw for less than 100 yards and you're not throwing it more than 15 times a game. That is concerning, but you got to look at the big picture. So people who are evaluating Cam, they got to roll up their sleeves and really do their work, Kevin.
Okay. You can evaluate him on wins and losses, but it is a little bit concerning that this is how many attempts we've had. 17, 18, 19, 40. Those are the last 4 games. So call me crazy, I liked the 40-point game, the 40-attempt game, even though we lost. And my favorite play, I was like, oh, Cam to Damiere Byrd, I was like, oh, I didn't know we had this. It's the best throw he's had all year. The big question is, if he can do this, why aren't we doing it more often, Jenna? And here's the other part when we talk about evaluating him. The fact that everyone loves Cam so much and he's a spark for the team, just sort of leadership-wide, I don't think that should go unmentioned, Brandon. When people, whether he's with the Patriots or he goes to another team, the guy has filled there's a massive, massive void on the Patriots, and he's filled it with energy, and he's teaching people to dab, and he's doing this cool bird thing, it's old Birdman style thing. So, Jenna, obviously I love Cam. I wouldn't mind if we threw the ball, 25 times a game. I wouldn't mind if Cam got into triple-digit yardage. That's just me. As long as we keep winning, whatever.
And this is why this is why it's hard to answer the question of whether it's working out for him in New England. Is he a success? Will he be there? Let's set this up. All right, you got the Bucks with Brady. They're 7-5. They're second in the NFC South. You got the Patriots with Cam. They're 6-6. They're third in the AFC East. Nick, I'll throw it to you. So who are the winners and the losers from the Brady-Belichick divorce, if you will, the breakup at this point?
Right now, there are only losers. There are no winners. Oh. You guys remember the old parable, King Solomon with the baby? King, two women say, it's my baby, it's my baby. And Solomon's like, let's split the baby in half. And that's how they determine who the mother is. In an alternate reality, they actually do split that baby in half, and each mother goes home with half a baby. Guess what? They both lose. Okay. Nobody's happy. It's like, oh, should have stuck with the way we were. That's what should have happened here. I think Brady's like, damn. My limitations sure were covered up more when I had Bill Belichick. And I think the Patriots are like, damn. We sure, even though it could be frustrating at times, we sure were in a better position when we had a quarterback who knew exactly what we were trying to do and knew how to avoid things like the fumble against the Bills, which is the single biggest moment of their season up to this point. That doesn't happen. They're 7-5. The Bills are 8-4, and the Dolphins are 8-4, and you are right there on the precipice, right, with getting ready to play the Bills and Dolphins late in the year. So I think right now, both sides are worse because of the divorce, Brandon. I think right now, if Tom Brady had to do it all over again, I don't think he would admit this, but he would have found a way to stay. And I think if Bill Belichick had to do it all over again, he would have found a way to convince Brady to stay, because the sum, it was greater than either of the two individual parts at this point in their careers or at this point in their franchise as far as the pieces around them, Brandon.
Yeah, maybe their egos are too big, but I don't see that happening. I wouldn't see that happen if you did it all again in retrospect. No, Tom Brady was going to be on the first thing out of there. He was ready to go 2 years.